Well, it's a new year. I hope it's better than last year. Although last year was okay. I mean, it was weird, but for me, I stay home a lot anyway, so it wasn't really that big of a change. It was in the beginning, like the first couple months, but then after that, for me, life kind of returned to normal. But I know for a lot of people, it did not, and I really feel for you if that was the case. But anyway, um, it's 2021 and it's the 2nd of January. So I don't set resol resolutions, New Year's resolutions. I just don't. I haven't for years and years. But what I do like to do, I like to focus on things that I want to either learn more about or improve. But pretty much, I'm pretty happy with my life the way it is. Um, no, I'm not wealthy and I'm not, but I'm relatively healthy. I have issues, at 70, who doesn't? Um, but all in all, I'm happy with my life. I like my life the way it is. So I'm not making any New Year's resolutions this year. Things that I would like to focus on, I would like to do more vegan and vegetarian cooking because I really enjoy doing that. So that's something I would like to focus on. I would like to get back to doing some more painting because I did enjoy that, but for some reason I'm always doing something else. So I have to make an effort to make the time. And too, with my jewelry making, I have everything I need. I don't need anything else, no beads, no wire. I don't need anything. I can make jewelry for the next year and a half and not buy a thing. So I want to focus more on that. And I want to focus on when the weather gets better, I want to start walking again because I used to walk all the time and I loved it. I loved getting out in nature, but now in the winter I don't enjoy the winter. It's too much for my joints. So that'll be something that I'll look forward to when the weather warms up. So, and I do want to save some more money. I want to get my car paid down. And the one bill that I have, I want to, pay that down. So, and of course, my friend has to put in her 2 cents. I don't know what she's going to do this year. Hopefully, not bark so much. That would be a good thing. But anyway, what was I talking about? Now I've got a senior moment. So anyway, the phone rang too, so I totally forgot what I was talking about. But anyway, I don't want to talk too long here because I want to share with you my day of cooking and saving money by using what I have. I like to do these videos and share them with you and give you some tips on how I save money on food. And hopefully it'll help you save money on food too and give you some ideas of what to do with your excess food or leftovers, or maybe think of something different. And like I said, when I was cooking with veggies, you can either make a soup, a salad, or a pizza with it. There's all kinds of things you can make with vegetables, so you kind of have to think outside the box. Just always make sure you have a lot of seasonings for different types of dishes like Mexican, Italian, Asian, all those things. All right, without further ado, I'm going to cook with you. It's Happy New Year. Well, it's kind of 2 days into Happy New Year. How you guys doing? So I found some produce that I need to use up in my fridge, and I had a beautiful red bell pepper that was starting to shrivel up. So I want to make a couple dishes out of that. And here I'm just making a salad from some of the little leftovers I have. I had some onions, onion tops from an onion that sprouted. I cut that up. A couple of tomatoes that need to be used, a carrot, a couple carrots, and some celery. So that's what I've got going on here. And I've got these tomatoes. And I think I'm just going to make a sauce out of these. They still look good, and a couple of them will probably go for a sandwich. But the rest of them are getting pretty soft. So I'm going to make a sauce out of that. And here, I'm going to make a soup. So I'll have a salad and a soup and some spaghetti sauce. Here I have some chopped up romaine. A few more carrots that I'm going to put in the soup. And I have this bag of coleslaw that I bought in my last haul. So I'll put some of that in with my salad and some of that in with the soup. And probably just make some coleslaw out of the rest of it, or I might make cabbage and noodles. So none of this stuff was very expensive. I have some celery here. That's still good, but I think I'm going to cut some of that up because I can't eat all that, and I will freeze it for another dish. I do that a lot when I have leftover onions and peppers and celery. So I'm going to go ahead and make a few dishes here, and I'll show you what I made when I'm all done. When I was out Christmas shopping a couple weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, whenever it was, I got this candle at Walmart, and it was 3 different scents, and I like the sound it makes. It's one of those that are supposed to sound like a crackling fire. Now, if you guys like stevia rather than Splenda, Walmart usually carries this, but a lot of times they're out of it. And as far as an inexpensive drink additive, now this itself is like $2 and something, but it goes a long way. And they have a couple different flavors. This one's black cherry, no calories, and this has, let me see how many servings. It doesn't really say. But anyway, it's tasty. So that's one of the things when I'm not drinking my tea that I like to drink. And here is my soup. I've got the cabbage, tomato, celery, carrot. I'm going to put an onion in here. And then I'll probably put some pasta in there later. And here is my salad that I'll eat later today. And that also has chopped up red pepper, tomato, carrots. I stuck a couple olives in there. And then what I'm going to do is just add some of this Gerard's. You've heard me talk about this before, the 60-calorie champagne seasoning. And I'm going to put that in there. Not too much, a little bit. There we go. And then I'm going to mix that up a little bit, and that'll marinate then in the refrigerator until I'm ready to eat it later today. And it'll crisp up the lettuce that I'm going to stick in there. And this is romaine. And that's from the romaine I bought, oh, when was it? I don't know, my last haul. So I need to start using that up, but it's still beautiful. So now I'm at a point where I'm trying to use up all the produce that I bought. And I had bought cucumbers and, you know, just the basics, the little baby cucumbers and carrots and peppers. So this is going to go in the fridge now, and then I'm going to make my cabbage and noodles. And I'm going to have a lot of meals just using up my produce. So I have a slice of bread here. This is the last slice of my homemade bread that I made, and this is already getting fairly dry. So I'm going to coat that with a little bit of spray oil and some probably garlic salt or something. Cut it up in little cubes, and then I'm going to eat that as croutons with my salad. Waste not, want not. Alrighty, so I have an onion. I want to put that in my soup yet. So I'm going to now this I'm going to save and put in my freezer for a stock. But right now I'm not going to put it in here because I'm just making that as a soup. I'm going to use a soup base for that. So these two little pieces will go in my freezer. And then I'm only going to put half an onion in here. And sorry about the noise, I have my air fryer going. I'm making those croutons. But this is a sweet onion. And you can put this in too, but if you put too much of this in, the skin, it gets bitter. So I think I'm gonna call that good. But yeah, save all your kitchen scraps. You can make food out of it. So I'm only going to put half an onion, and the other half I'm going to save for sandwiches, because I do like a sweet onion on my sandwich every now and then. So I'm just going to give this a rough chop, and in it goes. So these are all my vegetables. And then I'm going to put some, I think chicken bouillon, not chicken, the better than bouillon. So here are the croutons. They're nice and dry. I put them in my air fryer for 6 minutes, and I put seasoning on it, sprayed them with some oil. And so that'll go with my salad later on, and then I'll show you what I'm going to put in the soup. Okay, so for my soup, I'm going to put some of this seasoning for all the things. I get this from Imperfect Foods. And I'm going to put in a little bit of this. And I don't measure really. You know, it's probably about a teaspoon. So I'm going to put that in. And then I have these Better Than Bouillon. This one is roasted garlic. And this one is no chicken base. So I'm going to put a couple of really good hefty spoons of this in my soup. So, and I better order some more of this. This stuff is really, really good. It really puts a lot of flavor in anything. So it's better than bouillon. And then I'm going to put a good spoonful of this mushroom base too. And I really don't want to cross-contaminate them, so I need another spoon. Here's one. Okay, so I'm going to put a little less of this in. About that much. And then I'm going to cook this on the soup setting on my Insta-pot, my little Kasori Insta-pot. And I think it takes 20-25 minutes, and then I'll have soup, and I have my salad, and I'm going to make a stir fry. So I'll be back in a little bit. All right, so I've decided I found a couple more things that need to go. I found these pea pods. I had those for Christmas Eve with some dip. And we didn't eat them all, so I've got to cook those up. And then I had made, for my grandson, I had made some of those King's Hawaiian rolls with the ham and the Swiss cheese. And this was the topping, and I had a little left over. And that's some butter, Worcestershire sauce, mustard, and I forget what else. Anyway, I'm going to make a stir fry instead of a cabbage and noodles. That way I can make some rice with it, I can make some beans with it, and I think it'll go further. So I have some avocado oil here, some high heat avocado oil that I'm going to drizzle. And we'll start out with this. So I'm going to put the celery in first because that's going to take the longest to cook. And get myself a spoon here. So basically, I'm going to probably have enough meals for at least 4 or 5 days. Just using up what I still have in the refrigerator and not wasting anything. You can save a lot of money by using up what you have and stocking up on veggies. So I'm going to stick the onion in here too. And you can stir fry whatever you have. Carrots, mushrooms, cabbage, almost anything. And if you can't make a salad out of it, you can either make a soup or a stir fry. So you can find a use for everything. So I'm going to stick the mushrooms in here too. Get a little bit of liquid going in there. And then of course you can season this with whatever you want as well. So I'm going to stick all the cabbage in there too, because I don't want to waste that either. And this would be going bad if I didn't cook it like today. And of course my pea pods. And now this is a lot of food. This is enough for me probably for 5 meals. So I've got a good 5 meals here. I've got my salad that I'm making, or that I made. I've got my soup that's probably another good 4 meals, if not more. And I still have a bunch of mushrooms left over that I want to make something with. Oh, I forgot. I'm going to stick the rest of this red pepper in there too. That was going to go bad. And this is probably going to be tasty. And if it's not like wonderful, we're going to eat it anyway. So I'm going to stick this concoction on there now, because you can use, you can save things like this as long as it's not bad, it hasn't gotten rancid or anything like that. And use whatever ingredients you use. If you're vegan, vegetarian, then use vegan butter. If you don't care and you eat whatever dairy, then use that. So I'm going to turn this up a little bit, and then I'll be back in a little bit and we'll season this. Now I found some of this in my fridge too, and it's some hoisin sauce. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but I read the ingredients and it's vegan and all organic. So I'm going to put a little bit of this on the stir fry, not too much because it does have a little bit of a spice to it, and I'm not a huge fan of heat. I like well-seasoned food, but heat not so much. And then I'm just going to put some soy sauce on here as well. Because I do like soy sauce. And then you can always add more of whatever as you're cooking. But I think this will be very tasty with rice. Like I said, if I combine this with some rice, It's probably at least 5 meals for me, maybe 4. But, and then you can add different proteins to it. You can add seitan or, you know, whatever animal products you like. Or you can add beans, whatever beans you like. You can add some bean sprouts. I don't have any of those. I'm just trying to use up what I have. So I'm going to give this a little taste and let it cook for a little bit longer and see if it needs anything else. Now the pea pods aren't done yet, so, but you don't want to overcook this either. Give this a taste. And always taste your food, you know, cook it to what you like. Need some salt and pepper. I'm going to put some garlic salt on here. Because I do like garlic salt. I think it adds a lot of flavor to things. And I'm going to put some pepper. I do like pepper, but not too much of that either. But put whatever seasonings you like on here. You know, it's your kitchen, your rules, and your taste buds. So I'm going to give this another taste and let it cook another couple minutes and see if that's good. And I'm the only one eating this, so I can double dip all I like, and so can you. That made a big difference, adding the garlic salt and the pepper. And with the hoisin sauce, it has just a teeny tiny bit of heat. I can tolerate it, and it's very tasty. Okay, so that's what I'm making for now, and I'll see what else I need to clean up in the fridge, and I'll be back. Okay, I found something else I want to add. I have some cashews, and I do like cashews in my stir fry, so I'm going to add some cashews to it. Now you can add chicken, you can add shrimp, like I said, you can add seitan, you can add tofu, whatever source of protein is your favorite. But I think I'm just going to eat it this way because the nuts will also add some protein. And this is very flavorful. Give it one more taste. This should be about done. Very good. And I think I'm going to add just a splash of sesame oil to it. Because sesame oil puts a lot of flavor in too. Not too much. And then you can top this with sesame seeds on a nice bed of rice. Or you can eat it with Chinese noodles. Whatever you like. Okay, I'm going to call this good. And I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, I found a few more things that need to be used up. I had bought this 2-pack of artisan flatbread at Aldi's when I went. This was actually going to be for Christmas Eve, but we ended up not eating it because we had so much other stuff. So that needs to be used up. And then I had opened this tomato basil garlic sauce, probably about a week ago. I checked it, it's not moldy. So I'm going to use that up and put that on for some sauce. And then I have a few things here on my tray. But I just wanted to tell you another good idea. When you buy bread, buy some of these rolls. Now I got these at Giant Eagle, but you can get them anywhere. And they're sort of a crusty roll. And what you can do with them, you can make all kinds of things with them. You can have a veggie sub with them. And I like them because they're not huge. You can make little pizzas out of them, so you can use up a lot of your leftovers with these breads. If you have salad, you can make a veggie sub. If you have cheese, put that on. So I always try and have some of these in my stash. And I'll usually take, just for me, I'll take a couple out of the bag and keep them in the refrigerator. And then the rest of them, 2 at a time, I'll stick in the freezer. So these are they're a good money-saving thing. And if you want a really quick meal, and they're also good just to eat for breakfast, or you can put eggs and cheese on them, or just eggs, or whatever it is you like to eat. So I always keep those on hand. So I'm going to go ahead and put together this flatbread. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I put some of this spaghetti sauce on there. And I don't like a ton of sauce on mine. I know a lot of people do, but I don't like too much sauce. Actually, this is probably a bit much. But another thing that's really tasty, and I see a lot of the restaurants are doing nowadays, where they will put, they'll make flatbread pizzas, and then they'll put arugula on it, and that's really good. So I'm going to just add the things that I like. And I still have mushrooms. In fact, with the mushrooms, I'm going to cook the rest of those up. I have those over here. And then I'm going to make a seitan with those a little later on this week. But I want to get them cooked up so they don't go bad. Okay, so I have the sauce all on there, and this definitely is not rocket science. And I do have some pizza seasoning here. Even though it's spaghetti sauce and it's already seasoned, I do like to add just pizza seasoning. And I don't even know what, this kind of came with the little spice go round, so you can get pizza seasoning all over the place. So, and I had bought, when I have an occasion, I like to buy different kinds of olives. So I had bought garlic stuffed olives, and I bought cheese stuffed olives and Kalamata olives. And so I want to use those up too. So I'm going to put olives on my pizza. And I'm going to, I do like olives. Usually I like black olives on my pizza, but any olive will do. And if you're into making vegan cheese, don't throw away your olive juice, because you can use that to make vegan cheese, and it gives it a nice salty flavor. So I'm going to put some garlic olives on here too, and just whatever you have. This is another one of those things where you can use up whatever you have. If you have kale, you can use that. I still have some peppers. Those are going to go on there. I have mushrooms that I'm going to put on. And pizza, homemade pizza, is a really good way to use up the things you have. And who doesn't like pizza, right? And your kids love it. You love it. So I'm going to put my some of my sweet onion on there. This is the onion I cut up for my soup. So I want to use that up, and I saved a little bit for a sandwich for later. But, you know, try and think of different combinations of foods that you can mix and match. And that way you can mix and match your seasonings, you can mix and match your bread, you know, whatever. So this is my pizza, and I'm going to put some cheese on. You do you, either vegan cheese or, you know, whatever cheese you like. Now things like this, it does taste good with like a smoked Gouda cheese, or an Asiago cheese is really good on these. So it's a good way to use up little bits and pieces of cheese. You know, if you have a mishmash of cheese, you can do that too. So I'm going to make this, and this will be enough for me for 2 meals anyway. And then I'm going to cook up these mushrooms, and I'll probably put some onion in there and some garlic in there. And those I'm going to save for to make some seitan later on this week. All right, so we have a good 10, at least 10 meals, maybe more. Depends on how much you eat. But that looks tasty. And then I'll probably marinate a little bit of lettuce in some Italian dressing, and I'll just sprinkle that on top. So use what you have, and I'll be back in a few minutes, and we'll have a short chat because this video is getting pretty lengthy. I don't like to make videos this long because I don't want to bore you guys. All right, I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, here's the last thing I'm cooking today. So that's my mushrooms, and I chopped up another onion because I have a lot of onions, and eventually those are going to be needed to be cooked up. So part of this I'm going to put into my seitan that I'm going to be making, and the rest of it I'm going to eat on top of the seitan. So it'll be like a steaky seitan with mushrooms and onions on the top. So that was a little chopped up garlic. That was like 4 cloves of garlic. And this is about, 2 containers of white button mushrooms, the small containers, and 1 sweet onion. So I'm going to cook that up, and this is going to be going in the fridge. I won't be eating that today. So my pizza is done. I have another one in the oven for my grandson with just cheese. I'm going to add a little bit of mushroom seasoning to these mushrooms. And I get this on Amazon. And that's what it's called, mushroom seasoning. And this gives a really good flavor to, instead of using MSG, you can use this. They use it in Asian cooking a lot. If you don't want to use MSG, try some mushroom seasoning. So these mushrooms are about done. I'm going to let them cool off. My soup is done, my pizza's done, my stir fry is done. All I have to do is cook up some rice or some Chinese noodles, maybe both. And that's that. And then I look through my tomatoes, and these are still fairly good, so I'm going to eat those on a sandwich. And actually I made, I was playing around because, right, I like to do that. So I made like a big sausage seitan the other day, and it didn't come out the way I wanted it to, but I've discovered that it's really good if I slice it thin and stick it in my air fryer. It has a bacony flavor, so I'm going to use it for that. Because even my boo-boos, unless they're totally unedible, I will eat them. I'll try to figure out some way to eat them. So, all right, that's it for the cooking today. Here's one of my Christmas gifts. It's a Bob Ross mug, and there are no mistakes, only happy accidents. That goes for cooking too. And apparently when you put hot water in there, a painting will show up. So we'll see. I haven't tried it yet. But anyway, I'll be back in a minute. All right, my friends, that's all I have for you today. Enjoy your day, enjoy your life. Make your own fun, make your own happiness. Don't wait around for somebody else to come along and do it for you. It's all on you. And even if the world is crazy or, make your home your sanctuary, and just focus on what makes you happy. So, anyway, that's all I have for you today. I want to wish you abundant blessings. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.